Okay, greetings, blessings, everyone. This is part 2 of this Ascension update. Part 1 was called Diving Deep and Surfacing, and I will leave that in the information below the video so that you can check that out. So let's just do this. I want to dive into this. I don't want this to be too long, so I'm just going to do a quick brief of what was in the first, and then we're going to dive into this one. So I'm talking about the levels of ascension, the levels of our experience as a human in this ascension journey. And I just framed it up, maybe using too many words, but basically saying, look, to be clear here, we are all beloved children of the One. We are all having a dream of separation, and ultimately no one is better than anybody else, okay? But that is my deepest, truest knowing. And that it is only by love and forgiveness of all of it that we really liberate ourselves. And within this human journey experience, we have what we would call levels of consciousness. And it doesn't mean someone's dumber or anything like that. It's just where we're at for whatever various and sundry reasons. As an evolutionary astrology, I look at it from a soul perspective, that the soul has different evolutionary states. But we're not going to go into that too much here. So in the first video, I kind of frame up that in more detail about the value of all of us, and we're all part of this. And the ascension journey that we're all under, or in the process. We're in process of evolving as a human species. And that means that we cannot take the old stuff with us, the unloving systems, the unloving consciousness, the low frequencies of hate, war, divisiveness, judgment, attack, etc. Can't take it with us. But it's not just like the angel comes down and ta-da, we're all happy. No, we have to clear this in and of ourselves. So I'm talking about the different states where people are at. In the first one, we got a very small percentage of people mostly living liberated from old consciousness, living in states of bliss and really holding the field. Then we have a lot of us who are diving deep and surfacing. We are on our ascension journey. We have dedicated to this. We came for this. We've prepared lifetimes for this. And we are clearing out the last vestiges of the old shadow material that is low frequency, unresourced, unloving, and not able to come with us. And that can be experienced as dark nights of the soul, but with tools, right? With tools and support. So if you're diving deep and you feel stuckish there, asking for help, getting help, we have many modalities on this planet to help our consciousness evolve now. So that's, those two were covered. The sort of bliss state masters and the light workers who are on it. We're on it. We're on our mission. But wow, 2025 has been a butt kicker. 2024 might have been too, as we clear out lots of stuff. So now let's look at some of the other broad stroke conditions we find our sisters and brothers in, because we are sharing this planet, this dream, with them and with Gaia, of course, as she ascends. So we also have a larger and growing number of people who are waking up, not so much to their spiritual, divine truth things, but to the shenanigans going on the planet. So I've thought for many years there are two kinds of waking up. There's the spiritual awakening. Wow, this is a dream. I'm a holy child of God. Love is the only real answer. Forgiveness is the path. I don't want to carry around all this old separation baggage anymore. That kind of awakening, right? I want to be in sacred service. People who listen to my channel probably relate to that most of all. But there's also the awakening, and you may have had this too. Maybe it came in 2020. Maybe it came years before. Maybe it came in 2012 for you. Maybe it's just happening now. Of what the F is going on? What is going on? Things are not as they seem. Now, right now on the planet, we have many, many sisters and brothers who are in that phase. Because suddenly they turn around and their country is upside down. Suddenly they turn around and the entire zeitgeist seems backwards and crazy. Their country has been invaded, and the entire cultural, relational thing is suddenly not what it was. They don't recognize their world anymore. But more than that, they recognize that there's an agenda going on. There's a hand at play. There's puppeteers manipulating things to create more distortion, more hate, more fear, more divisiveness, more war, more confusion in the field. And we're seeing this at all levels. We're seeing this at the local school level. We're seeing it local, any kind of, governmental organization. We're seeing it on the global scale. We're seeing it at nation state level. We're seeing it at all levels. And we're seeing the spin. Now, those of us who are more on the spiritual path, we may be looking at that or not. It's not necessary to look at that. What is good to know is that many sisters and brothers who are not called to a spiritual path, to being a light worker or a light bearer, are waking up to the shenanigans. And that's getting stronger. And that spells revolutionary change. And that's a longer astrological conversation I don't want to go into, but if you put an R in parentheses and then evolution, right? Revolutionary change. There is an evolution of the human, and it has to start by light being shed on the stuff that doesn't really work. And so this is why the nonsense is getting louder and more crazy, because the sleepy sisters and brothers who just want to go along to get along, just leave me alone, I'm just going to go to my job, I just want to raise my kids, just let me make a living, it's getting too much for them. The violence, the aggressivity, the change in values, the foisting of values that they don't have down their throats. It's being done to wake them up, and wake them up it's doing. Now, I don't think those who are behind the scenes are trying to do that. This is a cosmic architecture, right? This is the awakening. So we have a large and increasing number of the population who are waking up to the shenanigans. They may or may not become light workers, but they certainly are rising up to say enough is enough. But a lot of them are still trying to go along to get along, trying to be nice, trying to make it work. But so how far it has to go, the boiling point has to go before they jump out of the boiling pot, we don't know. We don't know. But those of us who came to hold the light, it's part of our call is to clear out, to do the stuff I talked about in the first video, so that we stand strong in our light right now, because our sisters and brothers need us. To really not be swayed by the fear porn, by the divisiveness, by the agendas, by the narratives, by the memes, but to really be like, no, I remember who I am. I am a divine child of the One. Oh, I'm dealing with some clearing out of my own darkness. I'm diving deep right now. But that doesn't change who I am, and it doesn't change the fact that when I surface again, I'll even have more capacity to hold more light, because I came here to serve the Ascension in that way. So let us have compassion for our sisters and brothers who are waking up to the shenanigans, and those who are not. Those who are, then that comes to the next sort of level or group, those who are really caught up in what we would call the psyop. The narratives that promote and fan the flames of divisiveness, hate, fear, dishonoring of other people's values, trying to overrule other people's values. We have a lot of sisters and brothers on earth who are in that phase too. And for them also, we must remember not to hate them, not to judge them, but to recognize that's where they are in their evolution. We don't have to put up with it. We have the right to our own boundaries. But as light bearers, as priestesses, we are here to hold the field of the highest potential for the most of humanity. So recognizing these different states of where our sisters and brothers are at can help us get perspective. It's like, no, it's not all crazy town, although it seems kind of right now. No, it's not all light workers are being taken down, although we have those moments where we may feel that way. And no, not everyone is waking up to the shenanigans, and no, not everyone is called to be a light worker. But We are still all in this together. We all came for this experience to push the needle of our own conscious evolution. And that's a beautiful thing. That's a potent thing. Okay, so let's see here if there's anything else. Yeah, I'll just touch on it quickly. There is also the very small percentage of people on this planet we may refer to as the elites, the puppet masters, those who are playing the bad guy role. They're playing the, what would you call it, the antagonist to the Ascension. And again, I mean, it's really easy. It'd be easy to hate on them, right? You pick your poison, whoever you want to hate or judge or attack. But keep in heart this: we don't know and understand everything that's going on. We're watching a movie. We're watching a movie even as we journey through our own ascension. And so as we step more into neutrality, as we step back and choose to align with the vertical axis to root and rise rather than playing on the battlefield of right and wrong, the more able we are to not only stand strong in the fierce storms that we're going through in the ascension journey, but literally live better lives, live more happy, and begin to hold those visions more strongly, more clearly, more consistently for New Earth, for all of our sisters and brothers. So, sisters, brothers, stand strong in these times. Let us lift and rise together. Let us stand shoulder to shoulder, heart to heart, even in those moments when we feel like we're on our knees, because we're in the thick of it now. We're in the thick of it. The timelines are dividing. We don't necessarily know how it's going to go in terms of how an ascension plays out. You know, how does it look? All we know is what we can do. So when you have those dark nights of the soul that can last days, weeks, months, or years, call for the light to assist you and follow the crumbs to the right modalities, the right healers, the right sisters, brothers, community to hold you. For you have come to hold the light, and so you shall. I hope this has been helpful. I'm sending each of you much love and bright blessings for this extraordinary experience we're having here in the realm of Gaia's Ascension. Much love. Mwah. Bye for now.